because you would see my sweating armpit.
alexasunshine 83, it's always sunny here.
Salem, you're in my seat. Excuse me. I've literally spent like 10 minutes trying to get him off of this chair, and he's gotten off, and then somehow when I wasn't looking or moving something, he's jumped back on. So he is now part of this video, and my butt cheeks are like so close to just falling off of this chair right now. But anyway, hello, hey Sunshiners, alexasunshine 83 right here. Hello, happy sunny Sunday, what is up? Today's video is something I've actually been wanting to make for quite a long time, and I've already made a video about my style evolution, and then also another one kind of giving my tips and tricks on how to find your personal style, but I never really talked about confidence. If you have been following me for the past, I would say maybe like 3-4 years, then you know my style has changed quite drastically, especially in the past year. And I get comments daily on older videos and also newer videos commenting on how much my style has changed. And let's be real, the character development of me it's real. She really did that. I'm talking about myself in the third person. Wow, okay. It's not like one day I just woke up and was like, my style is changing today. There have been a lot of factors that have contributed, and I just want to make a video kind of talking about my own personal confidence journey, because even though in my style evolution video I talked about how my style has changed, I didn't really talk about the why, how different specific phases of fashion in my life have really impacted me today, and how they were kind of like a stepping stone to my style. I don't know why I'm being so awkward. So yeah, this intro is really long. I am sorry, but I had a lot to say, and I will continue to say more as we now get into the next part about my confidence journey. Now, I feel like when everyone's a kid, they are, I wouldn't even say confident or not confident. I just feel like the concept of confidence doesn't exist. All I was focused on was living life and being happy, which, you know, miss those days. No, but I feel like we all have a moment in our life where we all of a sudden just don't feel confident, and we realize that potentially we don't look like other people that are in our grade or our friends, or we get bullied, and so we never even had those thoughts, but now somebody is feeding us those negative thoughts about ourselves, and we kind of internalize them. For me, I didn't really acknowledge the way I looked until I fractured my ankle and sprained my arm at the same time. And I was in a wheelchair for 3 months in 4th grade, and I remember it so clearly. I was about to get in the shower. I had to lay like on the ground in the shower because I had 2 casts. I don't know why, but I all of a sudden was like laying there naked, 4th grader, got my 2 casts on, doing a little rub-a-dub-dub, and I just remember looking at my body and being disgusted. Now, I think something that really contributes to that is I was held back in kindergarten. I feel like that really took a toll on my confidence as a person. When I was in 4th grade, technically I should have been in 5th grade, so I went through puberty before everyone else, and I definitely was a lot chubbier than everyone else. All the other, you know, popular girls were stick thin, and I was just this tall, chubby gal in a wheelchair, and I also sweated a lot. That also really affected what I wore, because if I wore something that was light colored, you would see the pit stains, and like I literally couldn't control it. I think that's also when my like start of kind of hating color began, because I felt like I couldn't wear something colorful because you would see my sweating armpit. Then went into middle school, again, quite tall, definitely started trying to wear darker colors to hide my armpit sweat. This is also the time when like scene kids were really big. I remember wanting to be like a proper scene kid so freaking bad. I tried to buy things that were like scene kid looking. I basically just like went on MySpace, saw scene kids, and wanted to wear exactly what they're wearing. It wasn't about wearing the clothes because I liked the clothes. It was because I wanted to look like the people in the clothes. I really started to hate myself in middle school. Also, something that really affected me, which again, I feel like affects a lot of people that I never really realized, is you shouldn't didn't have mean friends. Like, I know some people have friends that they kind of joke back and forth with, but I definitely had my fair share of friends that just weren't nice to me and would make fun of me. And especially in middle school, I feel like all of my friends in middle school, except for one, because I've known her since I was like 4 years old and she's amazing, they were all just so mean to me. They would make fun of me, they would put me down, and I kind of went along with it because I was like, I want friends. It was in most cases people that I wish I was, whether it was the way that they held themselves, the way that they dressed, the way that they looked. I would idolize them, which is why I felt like I put up with being a punchy bag for so long. When I went from elementary school, you know, then to high school, like that time in between, I got taller, so I lost a lot of like baby fat. And so living in the same town literally my entire life, I would see moms of like people I went to elementary school with always comment on my weight. They would be like, wow, like you've lost so much weight. And keep in mind, I was probably like 15 and they were like congratulating me for losing weight or losing the baby fat. That also contributed to just thoughts about my weight and how losing weight is seen as such a positive thing. The eating disorder stuff definitely started not because of wanting to lose weight initially. It had to do, which is kind of like a really big part into why I've dressed the way that I've dressed, and it's because I didn't want to be sexualized. I didn't want to feel like a woman. I don't really like to be touched in general. I feel like that's just a random fact that maybe you didn't know about me. When I meet viewers and stuff and you guys hug me, like it's totally fine, but I am a person that just doesn't really love to be touched. I wanted to do everything I could to not be seen in that way where people would want to touch me. So I was dressing in a way where, you know, I'm not showing any skin. I didn't want it to look like I had boobs, and my like eating disorder definitely started, number one, in a way where certain foods were still making me sick, because at that time I didn't know I had celiac disease. So I stopped eating things that did make me sick, and obviously then I was barely eating anything because I didn't know about gluten, yada yada. When I started to lose the weight, I noticed that like my curves and like my boobs, and I was just flattening out, which I really liked because then I felt like people wouldn't sexualize me. Being a woman in general is tough, and literally you can be sexualized wearing a turtleneck with a hat with like long pants and still get catcalled or sexually harassed. I felt like if I could truly just flatten out and just wear, you know, big t-shirts and just cover my body as much as possible, then hopefully maybe I wouldn't get catcalled. But again, we know that that doesn't stop men. So this idea of not wanting to be feminine at all made me just not honestly think about style. It wasn't about what I thought was cute and what wasn't cute. I just wanted to be comfy and to be covered up. Not to, again, get too in depth into like ED stuff, but I did work through it. Now, I also did acting, which is literally just like a stab in the heart when it comes to confidence. Especially like if you have low confidence and then you're in the acting world, it's just gonna completely destroy you. I would just pick apart myself when I would be waiting for auditions. And also fashion, I couldn't wear what I wanted. I had to wear whatever, you know, this person said or this casting director said or my manager or my agent. Style just wasn't used to express myself. It was used to be somebody else for somebody else. I would say probably age 18 was when I ended up quitting acting, and I did something, I think I was 18, maybe I was 19, I don't really remember. I did something that I had always wanted to do, although my reasons were not there, and that was dyeing my hair dark brown. That was the very first time I ever messed with my hair, ever dyed it anything other than blonde. And the reason why I did it is because I always saw brunettes as being really cool and always looking really good, and so I was like, oh, I want to be a brunette because they are pretty, and if I dye my hair brown, I will be pretty. I did it and I hated it. And something that I really struggled with kind of in my early 20s is having the mindset that I was that, you know, little chubby girl in 4th grade in her wheelchair, which she was adorable, okay? But I looked back at that time as a really negative. Now I don't, but back then I really thought I looked terrible and ugly and how I never wanted to look like that ever again. Anytime I took a photo where maybe my face looked how I looked when I was 10 years old, I would just like cry. Styling wise, I truly didn't know what I liked. Like I really did not. I was just looking at what Forever 21 was telling me. When I was 19, I actually started my YouTube channel. So I have a lot of videos of what I used to wear, and I had no direction. Still just wasn't used as an expression for who I was because I still just had really bad confidence. When I ended up going back blonde, I then dyed my hair black when I was 20. That was again just a very big mistake. In my style evolution, I kind of talk about all the different hair colors I've had that I'm not really going to go through because they overall have a summary of every time I dyed my hair, it was because I felt self-conscious, I felt ugly, I had literally no confidence, and instead of trying to work through the reasons why I didn't have confidence, I just dyed my hair a different color to be a different person and mask everything. And that obviously in turn went with style. All of the, jokes my middle school and high school friends would make just really made me not want to step outside of my comfort zone. My style, not that, I don't know, looking back, it's easy to be like, oh, that's an ugly outfit. And it's not really about the outfit, it's about the way that I felt in the outfit, which I didn't feel good. And that's kind of definitely a theme for my 20s and what I was wearing. And it wasn't until I learned about minimalism that for some reason, I just felt like there was a veil open, basically telling me what to wear, but also something I did like, which was just wearing black and white. So getting involved in minimalism was the first time I kind of had a focus. Now, it didn't last long, although because of minimalism, my sustainable, fashion, thrifting started, and thrifting 100% has changed my life, not only with my channel and this is my job and that type of thing, but it definitely changed what I wear because up to this point, I was wearing things because, a model was wearing them, people at school were wearing them. I would look at magazines and listen to what they were telling me to wear, and I was just kind of on my own. I would just go into the thrift store and it's like, pick out what you like. I was like, wait, what do I like? It was so important because it finally made me focus on what makes me feel good. What does make me feel confident? I always just felt zero confidence in myself, that I didn't realize that clothes should make you feel good. Although I then went through another phase, and this is actually where you can see the start of where my channel is now. I've privated all the videos before I started making thrifting videos just for personal reasons. So I think can't put a year on it, to be honest, but I basically did something that really changed my confidence journey, and that was cutting my hair. I know that seems so freaking small, and I talked about it again in my style evolution video a little bit deeper, but all those insecurities about the way that I looked compared to being 10 years old had to do with my face. I would look in the mirror and see that 10-year-old, and even though I was freaking adorable, I could not see that. And so cutting my hair, you would see more of my face now. I couldn't hide it away. That was actually taking hold of an insecurity that affected my confidence so heavily for the first time in my life, and for reasons where they were about working through an insecurity. Styling wise, I went back to basics and went to black, white, and gray. I definitely was still kind of just not sure where my style was, but similar to me cutting my hair to face an insecurity, I started to wear light denim, which is the start of my denim jean love. I'm literally wearing jeans right now. Wearing light colored denim seems just a normal thing. But not only was it a big insecurity, honestly, when it came to how my body looked, when I was in high school, I wore just black skinny jeans because then you couldn't really see my legs. And in this case, I was wearing light denim where you would see my legs. I mean, you couldn't hide them. I would tuck in shirts so then you would see my butt. And again, it seems so just kind of silly, but not wanting to be sexualized, showing my butt, it's not even risque. I'm literally wearing jeans with a Harley Davidson t-shirt tucked in. It's not even, that was the first step into finding my style. I was finally feeling good in an item of clothing. Wearing it with a loose t-shirt was kind of my security blanket. It was something that I was used to wearing, a very loose fitting t-shirt to kind of cover up my body. But in this case, I was only covering up the top half. And I feel like this is the era where a lot of people talk about how different my style is, because it was still definitely, you know, not tomboyish. I don't think that's kind of the word, but it definitely was, you know, t-shirt and jeans, and that was kind of it, and like a denim jacket. I needed to like wear that to get to where I am now, and I love that style still. But I feel my style now reflects who I am, and I'm finally using it as a way to express myself. I think that's when I started using Pinterest, which is a big, you know, game changer for me, to be honest, on how to put things together. Because sometimes I'm like, I like these items, but how do I put them together? I definitely still felt a sense of not wanting to feel feminine with regards to just wearing jeans and a t-shirt, which is totally fine. But especially when it came to going to thrift stores, you know, that is an experience, specifically when you're filming yourself. I mean, it's already really awkward. So I wanted to wear something that made me almost like invisible. But I think what really changed that was friends, good friends. Up until that point, I mean, from high school to probably like 24 years old. I don't really remember when I met my friends, but I didn't have any friends. I had my mom, I had John, and as I was making friends, I was feeling influenced by what they wore and being like, oh, that's really cute. I never thought of wearing that. And meeting people that were so like just themselves was really refreshing. Again, suburban town, if you know, you know. And I think opening myself up to doing different thrift swaps with people, and then also my like thrifting trends video, was a way for me to actually try out new styles that I never thought about. Because once I had like an idea of, oh, this is what I like, I kind of stayed inside the box. But since last March 2020, the start of the pandemic, because I wasn't focused on how specifically men would perceive me on the way that I looked if I went to the thrift store or I went to LA, I wasn't thinking about that because I was just putting together outfits for my YouTube channel. I know you guys, you know me, we are friends. It felt like a safe space. I think it made me, for the first time ever, really just like get outside of the box. And also being depressed, trying to find a like little shimmer of light. That's what fashion has been for me. And also, I kind of forgot to mention, but specific influential like style people for me is Best Dressed Ashley. I feel like that's pretty obvious by the way that I dress now. Her style was so different from mine when I first started watching her. Like before she ever hit 100K, I was watching her. I think continuing to watch her and follow her on Instagram, seeing how she put together things and had more of a feminine flair to her style, 100% influenced me and made me like not be as scared about it, and letting go of putting looking feminine as an evil thing into a like celebrational thing of this is about me and nobody else. We all, to an extent, have back of our head when we put an outfit together. We may think, oh, what's other people gonna think of? Are they gonna say to me? Not leaving the house, obviously then nobody said anything to me because I wasn't around people, and not being overconsumed by the fact that I may be catcalled. Like I already said, and like we all know, it's gonna happen literally no matter what, which is absolutely ridiculous. I have been so sick of being at home that it has given me, you know, that energy and that excitement of getting ready and putting together an outfit that is so fun, that tells a story, that shows my personality, and I now have confidence in myself as a person. And also dyeing my hair pink, I think, was a big moment because it kind of went back into, you know, pink is a feminine color. It's not really, but you know what I mean. Dyeing my hair pink was like, yeah, my hair's pink, I'm girly. That was, even a couple months ago, still an insecurity of mine of being feminine. And although I really can't wait until I can get my hair done in like a month and a half to get rid of these roots, I probably will go back blonde because that's like my home color. It's been really important for me to work through those feelings and to become a more confident person today, even though it's only been a couple months, but you know what I mean. One really important note is when you see somebody that is really confident, a lot of times we think in our head like,
oh, they're so confident, they can wear a garbage bag and be confident.
But but a lot of times they're confident because they know what they like, they know what makes them feel comfortable, and if you put them in a style that's completely opposite to what they like, they probably aren't gonna be that confident. So actually figuring out what makes you feel comfortable, what is your style, which your style changes all the time. For the rest of your life, it's going to change. It's not like this is your style forever. And also don't be like upset if you don't have a style. If you feel comfortable in your clothing, then like that's your style, which I talk about how to find your style a little bit more again in that video. I don't want to like touch on it too much, but I think it is important to note that what you wear does impact how you feel about yourself. So being in tune with trying different things, finding what makes you feel confident, and if you don't feel confident in something, not feeling bad for yourself, like not using that as a way to hate yourself, but instead be like, oh, I don't like that style. That's okay. Throw it in the trash. Well, don't throw it in the trash. Donate it, resell it, give it to a friend. Also, no, I totally forgot that really helped me find my style is finding the silhouettes and styles of certain items of clothing, specifically talking about tops. These square neck puff sleeve tops make me feel so confident. And so taking note to why those items make you feel so good, whether it's the structure, the material, the color, is really important and can really help you curate a closet full of items that make you feel good instead of just buying, you know, just a typical t-shirt or a typical tank top. Like, what kind of neckline do you like? What do you want to highlight? How thin or thick do you want the straps to be? It really does impact that. And I did just want to say that because that's been also really important in my confidence fashion journey, is realizing all the different styles that there are and pattern and tones and colors and hues, and there's just so much. But yeah, I could literally go on and on. I'm so thirsty. Wow, I have a sore throat now because I've been talking so much and Salem's gone, which is sad. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's really chatty. I don't know if it really serves a purpose. I think because I get those comments saying my style has changed so much, I want to talk about how and why and just give context to specifically my journey with like my style on YouTube, but honestly even before that, because the things that have happened to me in elementary school have impacted the way I dress today or the way that I stopped myself from dressing for such a long time. So if you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to subscribe right down below and hit that little bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, alexasunshine83, to keep up to date with me during the week. I will see you guys on Wednesday with a brand new video. I hope you have a super sunny day. Enjoy life, be happy, and love it lots. Bye!